anyone can build a product in this era of vibe coding. Um, does that make you a product manager, or is the application of product management methodology while building a product, is that what makes you evolve into product management?
What is behind the why? The why helps you understand, helps whoever is. Can you talk about the product that you built?
A lot of times we are driven by the crowd.
Yeah.
No, the crowd says it's project management, and everybody, okay, everybody is going, and you end up like you don't even, your mind is not, it's not functioning in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, because the journey it's not a sprint. It's you can't
Yeah,
keep moving across.
yeah,
If someone says, "What do you want?" So what do you
sure.
want? And we need to be able to compete at the highest level, right? Apart from
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I welcome everyone to today's podcast on the Voyage. I am your host, Chima Chiaka, and with me is my very good friend Nelson. Because what my pastor would always say is that look, the secret of success is simple: find a problem and solve that problem.
yeah,
Once you
yeah,
can solve a problem, that's it.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you. I say this a lot to some of my team members when we're on projects. I tell the business analysts that look, you guys solve problems from the standpoint of the stakeholders. The product managers, I tell them that look, your job is to solve users' problems, customers' problems. You have
Yeah.
to approach whatever you are doing from the point of view of the users.
Mm-hmm.
Find out how easy it is, will they use it, and everything that determines whether the product will sell or not, whether
Mm-hmm.
it flops or not. Then for the business analyst, your job is just to make the stakeholder happy.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you evolve as a business analyst into products, and why?
I, Again, I just believe that there is more. There is more to where exactly we're coming from, especially in the Black minority, right? I
Hmm.
do not believe in comfort zone. I'm not one to just sit in that comfort zone and say, okay, right, I've gotten to this particular part, and that's it. I'm just gonna stop at that. I believe there's always more.
Okay, sorry,
And yeah.
sorry to interject. How many years or months were you a business analyst?
I was a business analyst for maybe a year, 6 months.
1 year, 6 months. How did
Yeah.
you get into? How did you discover the world of products?
I work with product managers.
Wow.
Yeah, so a business analyst would always work with a product manager. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can do this as well. There is no reason why I cannot do this, right?
Yes. They are similar, right? They're
Yeah,
kind of similar, but
yeah,
different.
yeah. I can speak the language of business and
Yeah.
I can understand the technicalities behind things,
In
right?
products.
I can manage stakeholders, so I can do this, right? So it's having having the desire and having the capabilities to chase that. Now, the caveat to that was that I didn't just go applying for a business analyst role.
Mm.
I started looking for a way to launch a product so I can build my product management skills.
Okay.
I do not consider anybody who is getting into products that hasn't launched a product. So you need to launch a product, you need to work on launching a product to say, okay, yes, I am a product manager. So I had to build a very mini startup, a health tech startup at the time. It built a whole lot of my management skills, my technical skills, my business skills. Then I had the experience. Then I went to apply for a product management role.
I have a question though. In course of building a product,
Yeah.
anyone can build a product in this era of vibe coding. Um, does that make you a product manager, or is the application of product management methodologies while building a product, is that what makes you evolve into product management?
It's always the why. It's always the why. What is behind the why? It's not just the how, right? So The why helps you understand, helps whoever is, can you talk about the product that you built? I don't need to code, to have built a
Sure.
protocol. I need to be able to go through every single step, all the way down to having a full product itself. Yes, you've coded a product. Is it usable?
Yeah.
Is it desirable to the audience? What have you been able to do? It's easy these days to just write code, but
Yeah.
what do you understand about databases? What do you understand about front end? What do you understand about back end? What are those dependencies, across board? What are those services that are making this application run? If you have a vibe coded solution right now, who can use that solution
Yeah.
itself, right? What problem have you been able to solve with this? Yeah, it is cool. It is fantastic to see, but that's it, right? You need to go deep into the understanding of what exactly is possible for that particular solution itself, right? And it requires a whole lot. You need to speak with stakeholders. You need to ask the question of why. You need to validate your stakeholders. You need to scope it out. What kind of scope do you want to have in this? You need to look at what sort of metrics do you want to see out of this particular solution. Why exactly is this important? All of those different parts itself, very, very key.
Um,
Yeah,
I understand you coming from a business analyst background.
yeah.
In course of building your product, how did you acquire the product management technical skills? Did you take some courses? Did you, because every even project management, there's a sequence to things. Even in
Yeah.
business analysis, the sequence you have to met the stakeholder, build a business case,
Yeah,
then start like that. So how
yeah,
did you acquire?
yeah,
Because when you say you spoke with in course of your work, you mingled with them, that still doesn't mean understanding the sequence to the order of their things. So how did you acquire the technical skills? Then build the product using the technical skills, because I want our users who are trying to pivot to
yeah,
understand how to pivot.
yeah. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on what it means to build, to becoming a product manager. And I try as much as possible to go for quality listening. So I listen to people like Akash Gupta. I listen to people like Leonard Richinsky. I listen to people like Roy. I listen to a couple of people that are quite senior in the product management space. What exactly are the steps it will take to build a good product,
Mhm.
itself, right? And then the information has become very, very commoditized these days. You can get every sort of things right out there. So going on YouTube was very critical. I also needed to apply that knowledge, right? I didn't want, personally for me, it wasn't a situation whereby I just wanted to go into a class and then sit down. It was after I had gotten a whole lot of those practical knowledge, then I went to take a course,
Right,
right?
right.
So yeah, so I had to gain a lot of those practical knowledge, build on it, and then went to take a course because I didn't want to just lose my money and all of that. I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
needed to get, and I had a roadmap. I had a timeline as to the things that I wanted to do. In 1 year, 6 months, I'd done business analysis. I needed to get into product in the next 6 months, and then I had a timeline. So building that product, watching YouTube, then going to take a course itself. So that was the workflow that I, yeah, worked with.
Thanks for that, because a lot of times we have students who just come to the UK, then there's an advert telling them how you can get this six-figure salary. It's all lies. Do you understand? You do the course, you spend money you don't have
Yeah,
to do a course that you probably don't need,
yeah,
because I come up with a certification that is not relevant.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
you
The,
you're awakened to that disillusionment that
yeah.
you've just been scammed.
And the good thing
So I
about,
always tell
yeah,
people, so you see,
yeah,
this thing you said is actually very, very important, because there are my two resources are YouTube and LinkedIn Learning. I'd
yeah,
rather spend money on premium and learn and learn and learn and learn and go to YouTube and really learn. That, like
yeah,
you talked about learning. Learning is my go-to person in product.
yeah. Yeah, and the good thing about it is that you would know if you even like this part in the first
Yes.
place, right? So it would help you filter a whole lot of things that you may not be aware of,
Yeah.
because not everybody would like product, not everybody would
Sure.
like building a product,
True.
right? If you apply yourself, personally, and said it's just like in the world of AI right now, for you to take an AI agent program or something or learning or whatever that looks like, are you even using ChatGPT in the first place? Are you what are you doing, around AI itself? It's not enough to say, oh no, I love it. Like, how are you literally getting into the habit of doing things? Then you can then take a step forward itself. It's always an outcome based approach for learning itself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You said something very, very important right now that um how do you even know if what you are taking as a course is something you'd really like? Yeah, my partner and I, my business partner and I was thinking about something that why do we do things like this?
Yeah.
So we came up with a product, a unique feature where as a carer, you can be like, how do I pivot into products? So
Yeah.
you put certain psychometric things like what's your persona? Am
Yeah.
I an introvert? Am I this thing? So
Yeah.
it will give you a roadmap, but at
Yeah.
the same time, to tell you that you're a best fit for products, for projects
Yeah.
or software development or a
Yeah.
software tester than
Yeah.
this route you're going. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times we are driven by the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the crowd says it's project management, and everybody, okay, everybody is going, and you end up like you don't even your mind is not it's not
Yeah.
functioning in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I've also tried this, I've tried to pivot into business. I understand it. I understand everything that they do there. I've tried
Mhm.
to pivot into product. I understand it, but I think my first love is projects. I
Mm.
love to see from start to finish. I love to monitor and to control. I just love to make sure that we're on time. Do you
Mhm.
understand? We're doing things. So I'm like Kitchen Coleman was saying about what vision she had because should I go with the one that loves me or the one that I love? So I'm
Mm.
like, that decision is only you
Yeah.
can make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, um, because the journey, it's not a sprint. It's you
Yeah,
can't keep moving across.
yeah,
If someone says, "What do you want?" So what do you
sure.
want? And for you to be able to compete at the highest level, right? I've had friends who are doing extremely well in security. When I say security, is cloud security,
Yeah.
and the likes. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna fit so well into cloud security because you sort of have the tenacity, you're pedantic, you sort of understand what are the things to look out
Mm,
for." But it's not what I want to do. It's
sure.
like my background is understanding the business of tech. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see the business of tech. I want to see what makes the tech make money, right? Not just
Mm,
about how the tech runs, itself. I want to engage with stakeholders and at the same time see how exactly the solution will help them, will solve problems for them itself, right? So I think for me is getting into the habit of applying yourself
mm,
first, go on YouTube, check what exactly that looks
yeah.
like, pick up a couple of learnings. If you spend 1 to immersed learning, not just,
Yeah.
oh, in 2 weeks you do 1 hour, or in two
Yeah.
weeks you do 30 minutes. You need to dedicate the time. You need to immerse yourself, right? We're adults. No one can be holding our hands
Mm,
across here. So I am an advocate for work ethic. So apply yourself, put yourself into it, put yourself into the fact that, say, what do I want to see out of life? What do I want to see out of this? What can I get out of this itself? And then once you come out of that, you realize, okay, I haven't even spent anything,
yeah.
spent anything. should I then proceed with a course, with regards to this itself? So I think it's
Okay.
more of an outcome-based learning. So once you get into that, you would even know, you'll be able to filter if your instructor or your teacher is saying something that does not correlate with what you've said. So it gives you a
Yeah,
good filter, and then you can ask questions intelligently and confidently.
sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for that bit. Um, my next question is this. I know now I understand Nelson as a business analyst and how you came to look at product. I'm like, I think I can do that. And everything you did to make you a product manager. How did Nelson evolve into an AI product manager? Because now everyone LinkedIn, AI product management, everybody's now selling AI
Yeah,
product management courses. How
yeah.
did you evolve into AI products management?
So in short, I built an AI product.
Okay.
So again, it goes back to the fact that for you to call yourself a product manager, you need to build a product. Like it's simple. That's the litmus test for defining that you've gone through the end-to-end approach on that itself. You need to build a product. You need to see that you've gone about all of these different steps, in ensuring that you deliver on that product. And becoming an AI product manager is how can you apply AI into an existing product or a new product itself. That's an AI product manager.
Is
That's
that
it.
it?
Yeah. So you
Understanding RAG as generative AI,
so yeah, so
then building.
it's not just the understanding, it's the building of it, right? So
Okay.
no matter how small the tool is, say for example, we built the user story generator. Is this able to is there a workflow that sort of helps with AI inside of this itself? How exactly does it work? What are the things that you need to put in place? Do I sort of understand this? And then getting people to use that part of it itself,
Yeah.
right? So it's thinking through, how can I sort of have an API from OpenAI, connect that into the tool itself, and ensuring that things are done, with regards to that, as much as possible. So it is bringing AI into a product. So that is AI product. So it's AI. There are two different parts. So AI and then product management. So you use AI in the work you do in product management. So if you're able to apply a whole lot of those tools, into the world of product management, you're an AI product manager. It's as simple as that itself, right? So, and then being able to define the learnings you've gotten from product management into AI as well, because AI is also a product, right? AI is a product. It's not
Sure.
a strange phenomenon. ChatGPT is a product. Claude is a product. Microsoft Copilot is a product. These are products itself. So you must be able to apply those learnings from product management into AI product management. You cannot just like, and again, it goes back to the fundamentals: build a product, launch a product, work with a product. All of that itself is quite important as you think about what exactly you can do. So that is the way I became a product manager. I built an AI product itself used by so many people. And then I've been a product manager itself. So I was able to use the learnings for building products and product management, into AI as well, and then apply that. Yeah. So yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Did you by chance take any course? At least to there are different reasons why people take courses and certifications. One for validation to validate that you're an authority in this field to an extent. Did you by chance take any certifications or any course for maybe, probably for the purpose of understanding key terms, understanding how it's applied? Did you just random question? Did you by chance do any course?
I watched YouTube videos. Again, it goes back to YouTube videos. I After I did all the YouTube videos, I built a product, then I went to, so because that's my workflow, right? I need to go take the hard work, go to learning, right? Itself. So I can literally have my my funds go further, right? Itself, right? So YouTube videos looked at
Value
what
for money.
exactly Yeah, exactly. I need to have value for money. I don't just want to go into it because everyone is talking about it. So, but I think the biggest validation as a product manager, as an AI product manager, is building a product itself. That's the biggest validation. It gives you the confidence because the truth about it is that your instructor, I'll say this to everybody out there as well. If you've built a product and you have an instructor teaching you that hasn't built a product, you're better than
Ah,
them.
yeah.
You're better than them. So you might as well also instruct, as well, because yeah, that's the truth, So do not downplay what exactly you have. Do not downplay how exactly you've put in the work. And that's why I say it's always go back to putting in the work. You must put in the work. Building a product is not a joke, right? Especially if you want to build a
Yeah.
good product. I can remember, like I mentioned, doing 18 hours. This is Monday to Sunday, back to back to back to back to
Mm,
back. If you do that amount of time in terms of learning something,
mm.
you will get something worthwhile out of it. There is no way that is not going to happen. So, by all means, so that was my pathway into AI product manager because I built an AI product itself, and then people could use this AI product, and apply that. But before then, I needed to see a whole lot of things on YouTube, watch things and then apply that. Then I went for a course.
All right, thank you. I like your process flow for becoming. Okay, so one question. Now you're an AI consultant. There's this lady I've been watching on YouTube. Oh, I'm an AI consultant. I earn six-figure salary, blah 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 blah. So I got talking with you. You see that I'm no longer AI product manager. I'm now an AI consultant. So I'm like, okay, all right. So this evolution, the becoming of an AI consultant.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to become an AI consultant? That's my question.
Um, so first, let me take a step back, right? As immigrants, as minorities, Black minorities in the UK, and in the Western world, you need to keep upskilling and stacking
Yeah,
up. I was reading a report, the unemployment rate as of today is 5.2% in the UK, which is significantly high. Unemployment in 2026 alone for the number of layoffs that has happened is well over 60,000. And these are the ones that have been announced. The ones that
yeah,
have not been announced, if you put all of this together, this is 100,000. What exactly this means is that you need to keep building structures around yourself to protect
yeah,
yourself. So right now, I can apply for a business analyst role.
yeah,
I can apply for a product manager role. I can apply for an AI product manager role.
yeah,
I can apply for an AI consultant role itself, right? So essentially, AI consulting is the fact that, and I do not believe you can get into AI consulting without understanding the fundamentals of products in itself, right? So what exactly does it, like I said, AI is a product. So you are consulting for AI. AI is a product consultant, so product consultant. So AI is a product itself, and then you're consulting for what exactly that looks like. So organizations are looking for how do we apply AI into the things that we do? What exactly do we need to put in place? How exactly do we go about it? What would we ensure that what would we put in place to ensure that we're delivering on the right resources,
mm,
across board in there. And my job as an AI consultant is literally just helping you see, okay, these are the different areas within your business that require some level of AI implementation. That is inefficient at the moment. These are the
mm,
things that you can do. And the reason why I can confidently go into this is the fact that I have built an AI product.
mhm.
I have built multiple products as a product manager. I understand those inefficiencies in systems, right? I can speak the language of the business. I can help calculate the return on investment they can possibly get, out of that. Say, for example, you are on a particular, someone is spending time. So I work with a client where they would spend about 3 hours a day, one person on emails, right?
Wow.
Checking their emails, ensuring they don't miss out on anything, and then working with clients, and delivering on all of that itself. That in itself is inefficient, especially in the
Yeah.
world of AI. And then when we looked at the current states, looked at those inefficiencies, you can see all of the terminology I'm talking about are product business analysts understanding the current state, looking at the inefficiency, analyzing the stakeholder needs. These are terminologies from products that you're bringing into AI itself. If you do not go through that journey, you're just going to be having fluff as an AI consultant because you do not understand the background as to what exactly would make that person spend 3 hours on emails itself, right? So I had to understand the current state of things. Why exactly is this taking this amount of time? Why exactly are they spending this amount of time? What exactly is causing the problem? And then once that had been validated, move to that future state in which we needed to bring in AI. So how to do an automation with AI, because again, you also need to be technical to sort of understand
Yeah.
what are the things you can solve for, what are the kind of tools you can bring in there. So
Mm.
we had to build something within Copilot, like an email assistant, and then connected that into Outlook. So every morning there is a schedule in which it looks into the calendar of this client of mine, looks into the amount of things that they do every single day, and then send them a summary like an a virtual assistant, to
Yeah.
themselves. This saved them from 3 hours to 1 hour every
Wow.
single day. So this is just for one person, and they have about 9 people on the team. I then took it a step further to sort of understand how do we calculate the return on investments, right? So if you were doing 3 hours and we've been able to save you 60% of the time on this itself, what exactly does this translate to? It
Yeah.
means you can get more clients for the business. It
Yeah.
means you can do more for the business. It means you can be much more efficient and productive. This whole journey of taking you through right now, you need to have the capabilities of someone who has gone through the process of building a product, understand what exactly is required from the stakeholders' point of view for you to call yourself a consultant. So that's the journey. Now, I'm a consultant, I can help them see the value in using AI for their different sources itself.
My question:
Yeah.
if you were to teach people how to become AI consultants,
Mhm.
in summary, what will the outline be? Would you use a business analyst outline, understanding the problems, understanding the pain points, or would you use a product management approach um, to it so that that you can understand the process flows, ideate on the solutions you are going to provide, and you understand? Look up for area how you can validate that. Oh, if I do this, this is going to work, and deploy. If you were to, if based on the two, now that you've gone from business analyst to product manager, then AI product manager, if you were to come up with a cut outline to mentor and tutor um, people, what would the course outline look like?
I think it's going to be intertwined. I think it's going to comprise of all of those skill sets together. You need to understand the problem. Or you need to understand the problem. You need to validate the problem. You need to speak with stakeholders. It will still happen. You cannot do
Mm,
without it. From the product manager point of view, you will need to. So, what a product manager will do is having conversations with the business, consistently as to what exactly the needs of the business are.
yeah,
And then on a high level, able to interpret this back to the business analyst and then the stakeholders involved. This is the vision of the business. This is what exactly we need to do to drive that itself, right? The same thing applies in consulting, right?
mm,
how are you able to communicate the vision of the business
mm,
to the stakeholders involved in that part? So I call it the strategic level and then the tactical level.
mm,
Those that are involved in the tactical level, you need to help communicate that vision of the business and then apply that to say, okay, these are the things that we want to do, these are the things that we want to deliver on in the world of AI itself. Your
yeah.
focus is on AI. So it's an intertwined journey across board itself.
Mm. All right. Thank you for this because there are people selling courses out. You know, in the end, it is the monetization of the skill. Everybody wants to
Mhm,
cash in on this AI,
mhm,
the knowledge gap, and just
mhm,
make a quick buck out of it, or make a
mhm,
few thousand, really some few thousands out of it.
mhm,
But it's different when you go to somebody who has evolved into what you have become, and
mhm,
now you can solve a problem more strategically, more technically, and actually tell people that, oh, this is the ROI for
mhm.
what we are going to do. That
Yeah,
the business owner is like, okay, you're not just talking like a novice. Oh, you just didn't fall out of the sky and oh, someone just come out. I'll make you into an AI consultant. Now you're going through a
mhm.
structured process.
Yeah,
You understand
yeah,
stakeholder engagement and everything. My last question to you is this: you know, when we started this, when I pitched that, oh, can you come talk to my podcast? Like you were like, oh no, I've not arrived yet. No, 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 no.
mhm.
And I was like, um, this podcast, the goal of this podcast is to help people
Yeah,
discover that
yeah.
wherever you are right now, you can become a
Mhm,
lot more.
mhm.
Now, so I want you to talk to us like a word. How would you? What's that word of encouragement you give to an immigrant that is in a very dark place right now? Well,
Yeah,
what's that advice you'd give to them?
yeah. I mean, beyond an AI consultant, they just launched a new product as well. Just wanted to mention that it's called ChatGrow, and it's basically helping business owners with their customer support and sales, right? As simple as that, using AI,
Mm,
where independently, you can literally use AI agent for that first level customer support. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. It will handle all the conversations in there. You can see what exactly your customers are doing. So
mm,
that's an additional part that I've also taken, on there. But I just want to help you understand that everything is possible
mm,
if you give it time, have a desire about it, and
mm,
then chase it relentlessly. Chase it relentlessly. Do not feel like it is beyond your reach. Do not feel like it is out of your horizon. You can do this, right? Only if you put in the work. That's the caveat. Only if you put in the work. You cannot desire about it and not put in the work. What would happen in there is that you are going to end up being discouraged. You're not going to achieve it. You're just going to have this. Everyone has desire. Everyone is motivated. You need the discipline. I know it can be difficult for a lot of people with kind of job that they do and all of that, but you need to find a way to make it work. What do you want to see in 5 years? What do you want to see in 10 years? What would require for you to get there? Um, You need to walk for the way to show up. The way would not show up until you walk. So show up, walk, and then the way shows up. Walk, and then the way shows up. Walk, and then the way shows up. Itself. So yeah, that's my advice. Do not just desire for it. Do not just look from afar. A lot of things are, especially as blacks, leaving us behind. We don't want to be left behind. You want to grab the bulls by the horn, and then
mm,
and then, and then go for it. So yeah.
mm. All right. thank you, Nelson. Thank you for the investing in our generation in terms of the products you have launched. Even though you sold it off, and you didn't give me my share of the money, but it's all good. It's all good. We are. It has opened that. You know how you it's a your footprints are have been laid. It's laid in the sands of time.
Mm,
You understand? I cannot talk about my AI journey and what I am now without mentioning PCI, which is what you are the brains. You and Patrick are the brains behind that thing. Then now you're going to chat grow. You're helping businesses scale up. My entire team, even that simple product you did helped a lot of people get jobs.
fantastic.
It helped a lot of people get jobs because it opened them to be more efficient. And like you talk about um the migrant community putting that extra effort, especially the
Yeah.
black migrant community, putting that level of excellence that is required. It was the advantage for them. So I want to say a very big thank you for even honoring us on this two-part series and on the voyage. And thank you for sharing about your the sacrifices as a father, sacrifices as as somebody with a partner, the compromises you did, the sales pitches you had to do to get the
Mm,
buy-ins into the vision, and your journey from sales into business analysis, products, AI products, then AI consulting. I am very, 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 very sure that a lot of listeners are going to learn a lot. Your details will keep it in will would point them. Just please, how do they reach out to you? Because this is going to be a radio podcast and we're also going to stream it. So how do they reach you?
so you can reach me on hello@chatgrow.co. So yes, I have access to the email. You can also reach me on LinkedIn. Um, my name on LinkedIn is Nelson Uzenabor. So that is spelled as Nelson as Nelson. And then you also, my last name is Uzenabor. I'm on LinkedIn. I talk about AI, write about AI on LinkedIn. So yeah, you can reach out to me on those platforms.
So there you have it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, my dear listeners. And if this episode has inspired you, please share it amongst other migrants, brothers and sisters. So our people need encouragement. Don't forget to subscribe. Take note of the Voyage as a program. This program, the Voyage, is specifically designed to inspire anyone, especially the migrant community. So until we come your way next week, we bid you farewell. Thank you so much, Nelson, for your time.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Shima. All right. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.